us a bit of insight on some of the ingredients to his success.
Yeah, I've been blessed. You need to, in any profession, have a little bit of luck on your side, and you've got to have that burning ambition and commitment to especially in music, and you've got to get used to the tone downs, the rejections, which I had in the early days.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Rod Stewart and all your favorite artists. Radio time, 6:53. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Warm and dry today. Right now it's 59 degrees. Highs today are going to be in the upper 80s.
Now on Colorado's Morning News, in any election, endorsements can be key. And in this year's presidential election, Democrat Joe Biden is getting endorsements from an unlikely source: Republicans. The former governor of the battleground state of Michigan, Rick Snyder, announced his endorsement of Biden today.
And former Ohio Governor and Republican John Kasich was a keynote speaker at the Democratic National Convention. There are also some Republicans here in Colorado throwing their support behind Biden. And that group includes former Arapahoe County Commissioner John Brackney, who joins us live. John, good morning.
Hi, Marty. How are you?
Doing well. Hey, just from Jump Street, is this about the politics of Donald Trump, or is it about the person Donald Trump?
It's actually both. Mostly it's about the topics and the tone and the tenor, but it's really the policies that he's implementing that just aren't constitutional. They're not conservative. They're not libertarian. They're not even Republican.
What led you to this decision, and when did you make this decision?
Sure. The final tipping point was COVID, that the federal government has completely mismanaged this entire pandemic. And that's what made me determined to vote against the president. The last time around, I voted for Governor out of New Mexico. And, yeah, sure, he was a little weird, but he was a libertarian. It was a protest vote. Now we think it's important for conservatives to actually take an active vote against the president, then become part of the loyal opposition and hopefully get conservatives elected in the future. But he's completely ruining the philosophy and the party.
So this is, in a sense, John, a one-off. So you're trying to do this. It's almost like an anybody but Trump vote. So I guess for, again, my example, if he was running against a ham sandwich, you'd vote for the ham sandwich and not Trump?
Yeah, I don't quite like that phrasing because I think actually the president has made himself ineligible to be reelected again. And that's from his taxes to what kind of dealings he may have, of course, to Russia, to the whole Mueller investigation. He's really made himself not eligible to be president. And we should wake up as a citizenry and say, really, this is completely unacceptable for the most powerful position on earth to constantly, every day, be saying silly stuff, mean-spirited stuff, immature, dangerous, ugly, angry. Wait, this is the person we're supposed to look up and respect in the most powerful country on earth? No, enough's enough. So it really is policy, but it's also tone and tenor. It's his style. Really, everything about the president is just all wrong, and we should wake up to the fact and say, no, enough's enough. Goodbye.
John, it's one thing not to support your party's candidate and then maybe stay home on Election Day, but it's a whole different thing to actually cross the line, cross over, and vote in opposition of your party. Have you thought of just becoming a Democrat?
Well, we could go item by item, and whether it's free trade or federal deficit and debt, immigration policy, federalism, global alignments, executive orders, and we could just go item by item down policy, and we're not Democrats. So you'd have to talk to the Democratic Party or the liberals to find out why they, of course, don't like Republicans. That's not us. We're conservatives. We're constitutionalists. We believe in our country. We're optimistic. We believe those are our Republican values, and the president has done the opposite of all those. And he just really cannot serve in office anymore. We're looking for everyone to unite around this, to say we'll start arguing again after the November election. Now we've got to say you gave it a shot. And you failed. Goodbye.
John, for more conservatives, why do you think they're, if you want to say, hesitant or afraid to take a stance that you're taking? Are they that afraid of the president, or are they just so burrowed, I guess, in their strongly held beliefs that they just say, I can't vote for anybody but somebody in my party?
So I was a Republican for 32 years. I get it. You go to the caucuses, county assemblies, state assemblies. They're your friends. They're your network. And we've gotten down to America where we actually hate the other side more than we love our own. And that's on both sides, by the way. But at a certain point, when you have a culture, a society, and you know things are amiss, you have to say, hey, I still like the folks. I don't hate Republicans. I like Republicans. A lot of them are my friends, and they're my family. But we've got to say, no, really, we have to be Americans first. We have to care about the future of our country. Just this next year, we're right now, our federal debt is as much as our entire GDP. I mean, we're in trouble. We're taking choices away from future generations, and they're not going to have as high a quality of life and be able to enjoy the freedom that we have because we're making decisions for them now. That's really just unacceptable for everybody who's a mom or a dad or who cares about future generations. We have to go back to conservative principles, and we've gotten away from that. There's going to be a great resorting in America because President Trump isn't Republican, and many Republicans aren't Republicans, and Democrats have their own battles.
John, before we run, longtime conservative talk show host, one of our colleagues, I'm sure you know him, Mike Rosen, always told his audience, party over person. Has your group, have you personally taken a ton of flack from Republicans who are saying essentially that?
Mike's a longtime friend. I like him, and he'll probably give me grief over this. He's completely wrong. He is completely wrong. I now know more people that are privately voting for Biden, just don't want to tell everyone about it, than people that are voting for Trump and don't want to tell anybody about it. There is a massive underground movement of people that are just completely disgusted and disappointed in President Trump. We should realize that, stand up and say, I'm not going to be associated with him anymore. No, when the party doesn't stand for anything, why would you stick with the party over person? The party doesn't mean anything anymore. Enough's enough. President Trump must go.
Former Arapahoe County Commissioner John Brackney, thank you so much for your time.
Have a great day. Thank you both.
Good to have you. Straight up 7 o'clock. Let's head outside.